Um, Let me go ahead and tell you guys a wonderful story. Um, you might as well get comfortable and get a chair or whatever, because um, I'll make you guys pass out. The first secret is find a blank sheet of paper. And that's it. You're ready to go. Okay, just kind of an overview.
Line affection. No, you're fine.
Yeah, we're letting Tony record this for posterity. So if you say something, make sure it's witty. Um, uh, the way the class works is most of you guys have been here before, but some haven't. Within a few weeks, I'm going to kind of say most of what I'm going to say in terms of the general lessons. It's not specifically going to be week 2 will be this, and week 3 will be this, and week 4 will be this. It's more a matter of in a few weeks you're going to hear the gist of what you're hunting for, and then it's a matter of my saying it over and over and over and over again until you get sick of hearing it, and then you know the 30th or 40th time you go, oh, that's what it meant. In a nutshell, trying to explain what it is that you're hunting for with the drawing. The drawings on the wall are up there not as examples of perfection or you know, the right way or the wrong way. Everybody here is trying to figure out how to use the same tools, and they're examples of people that you know, made the tools work. When you guys are struggling with anything, whether it's the hair or the features or a hand, find a drawing up there that's got a similar solution and see if they got an answer. It's, you know, that stuff's not up there just to forget about. It's up there to go find, you know, how to go fix it. Because you're going to learn a lot more. You'll learn a lot by drawing from life, but you're going to learn a lot more by drawing from other drawings, because when you draw from life, you've got a million different things to look for up there. When you look at somebody else's drawings, you're looking at what they chose to edit, what they chose to choose, and how they chose to push it. And putting those two together, you're going to get a lot farther than if you're just only drawing from life. Because if you're only drawing from life, you're drawing from your point of view. If you happen to look for straight lines, if you happen to look for curves, if you happen to look for fuzzy edges, whatever it is you're looking for, you're going to find. So that's why you want to keep looking at other drawings, because you want to start looking through their eyeballs. But I'll get more into proportions and construction a little later on, but that's obviously part of a good drawing. The main thing that you want to be thinking about in your drawing is, well, I'll go over a couple of the basic ideas, and a lot of what I'm saying is you guys will already know. It's things that when I heard and people pointed out to me, it helped me organize what I was drawing. It wasn't so much a matter of, it was like, oh my God, there's the secret. I didn't know that. I never thought of that before. Everything that you draw is some degree of 2-dimension and some degree of 3-dimension, and you want both of those in there. Don't think that using 2-dimensional is copying. I mean, it can be, but it can be a useful tool in what you're doing. The way I like to think about it is think of this as your kind of extremes in how you're hunting a solution to the drawing. These drawings I would put at the end of the spectrum, heavy in the sculptural design. We're looking at trying to come up with architectural ideas about what's going on with the head. Looking at the top planes and the side planes and using whatever the forms are to really push architecture. These drawings are using the 2-dimensional effect of shapes and edges to imitate the way the illusion looks in life. As a student, this is the thing you want to hunt for first, because if you can get this, you'll have more ability to design this to whatever level you want. So when I'm looking at drawings, I really like to separate the idea of what it is that they're hunting for as being something different than the level of the draftsmanship. Both the draftsmanship in these is dynamite. It's just, when you're looking at this is a painting approach, And this is a sculptural approach. And he started out doing a lot of the sculptural approach before he started going, into the paint. I don't mean sculptural on this one. I mean his first couple of years at school. Then he started going into the more paint end of it. But again, this is an example of the idea of when you're trying to figure out how to analyze something, how to draw something, look at a drawing that it makes sense on and copy from that person. So when you look at their drawings, you say, I can understand what he's saying there. I can use that information so that I can make sense out of my drawing. Or if you're trying to figure out how do I make it a pretty girl, which has to be edited down to lesser details, look at an artist who's graded pretty girls and see what their lesser details were. So anyway, just think about whether or not you're explaining the information clear enough, and then worry about whether or not the paint. Worry less about the finish. Worry more about whether or not your explanation makes sense and it's attractive and clear. Yeah, it's real clear when you can see when it's really pushing in the sculptural end of the universe, and it helps. It doesn't look as real. It looks more like a diagram, but that's fine. This is a diagram of what the structure of the head looks like, and then you can get more subtle with the paint. But so a lot of people stray away from some of the drawings by Bridgman and such when they first look at them because they look like they look real. They're not as finessed and finished, but he's trying to really go overboard to knock you over the head, so you can see what he's doing. That's the whole point of it. In Cornwell's case, these are studies so that he can do paintings from these later on. He's just trying to figure it out so he can be a master of what he's drawing, so that he can have fun with his paint, because he's already figured out what's going on with this. As I say, none of this is a matter of hidden secrets that nobody's ever heard of before. Okay, so the first end of this I want to deal with is really heavy on the 2D universe, just because it's the easiest one to get your foot in on. And a lot of this I'm going to repeat over and over and over again, but I'll say it in a deeper voice, or I'll say it, somehow we'll find a different way to state it. Your two-dimensional tools, shape, value, and edge. And with shape, we're talking about the. You can be looking at this as a three-dimensional shape, and for you guys that have been here before, you've seen this demonstration every time I start a class. But the idea of thinking about the 3D shape of the cube and the 3D shape of the sphere. But I'm really talking about also adding the two-dimensional into your toolkit there. Paying attention to what the two-dimensional poster is doing. Because if you add that to the equation, eventually when you put 3D and 2D together, you fill in a lot of holes. But pay attention to what the 2D it looks like. When you're thinking about looking at photographs, this is what a camera sees. A camera doesn't understand that it's looking at flesh or cotton or wood or whatever. It's just copying lights and darks. It's seeing, abstract shapes. It's seeing triangles, white shapes. It's seeing dark shapes. This is an extreme push of the lights and darks. It doesn't have to be black and white, but the idea is, light versus dark. So, shape's not real complex or anything. It's just the idea of looking at the shapes and paying attention to what the two-dimensional shapes are doing. You could do a pretty respectable drawing just by